This position is viewed more as a position of power, dominance, that type of thing, rather than he's sitting here threatening me, okay? Especially if we're talking women's self-defense, this is a very common position where, again, person on top is just asserting their dominance, asserting their power over the other person, and they're not allowing me to move, okay? That said, that does not mean that this cannot turn into something worse. I can start trying to get out of this, and he can easily switch it to punches, they can easily switch it to chokes, they can start reaching for weapons. So this position can turn into a multitude of other things, but the initial pinning the wrist, this is just simply a position of power, right? I am not, as we know, going to be able to bench press this person out of there. So my main focus is to plant my feet, and I want to bump. So I get this reaction. I want the person to post. Now, in a perfect world, this would be the best scenario, but it's not always going to be the case, especially when I keep my hands here. So if you can do this against an unexpected person, sure, there's a very good chance they're going to do this right away. However, if this person has some experience, or maybe I've already started struggling a little bit, he may already start adjusting his body to avoid having to post. So what I'm going to do in addition to bumping my hips is I want to drop my elbows at the same time. Now, I can do one of two things once I drop it. I'm going to drop, just keep it in your mind of like dropping your elbows to their knees. From here, I'm either going to, as I drop, essentially shoot my arms way out to the side and circle around, or I'm just going to do a small circle around, right? It doesn't matter which way, it just depends on you. But again, the idea is we're doing it at the same time. It's not like I'm going to bump and then drop. It's bump and tuck your elbows, okay? And then again, we circle arms around. Now, in the past, we've gone over, if this person stays up here and you react fast enough, absolutely. I can come around their hips, their thighs, and I can lock my hands in place here. Now, again, that's just one scenario. It could be multiple different scenarios. By the way, I may not always have this opportunity. What I am able to do, however, is reach up and grab behind their back. Even if I can't necessarily reach my hands right away, I want to simply latch onto the back and just pull myself up into them, as well as pull them down into me. I'm pretty much just trying to suck my head into their stomach, okay? But knowing this type of position, when we come back, he may not sit up there right away. So it has to be one that when we do this, as he starts working himself back to get control, I have to come up right away. So I can't sit still. Once I bumped his hips and my hands are free, it's go time. Now, if we backtrack, let's say he only releases one hand, okay? I have one hand free, he's still maintaining one grip. That does not mean that I sit here and I just continuously try and bump and frantically move this hand. If I have another hand free, right away I'm looking to just start throwing strikes. Now, I'm not expecting these strikes to end the fight. However, what I'm looking for is that after a couple strikes, this hand becomes free. And the second this hand becomes free, I'm latching back on. Because what I don't want to happen, and what's probably going to happen with him, is if I start striking, he's going to try and regain control of my hands, and now either he's going to pin down again and I'm not going to be able to do that, or now it's going to go into one of those other scenarios, and as I'm striking, now he just starts dropping punches, and now we're in a different situation where I am being threatened. Does that make sense? So the second either both hands are free, I'm latching. If one hand goes free, we're striking until this hand is open, and then I'm latching back up. Once we get into this position, what I want you to now focus on is climbing the body. Now notice my hips essentially stay in place. I'm not like walking my hips up. I'm literally, because again, he's gonna look to recompose and shift his weight back. And as he's trying to shift his weight back, I'm literally just climbing up the body until I get close enough to one arm where I can feed through and lock on. Does that make sense? Now I have this arm trapped. If I don't trap that arm and I just try and toss this person to the side, he's gonna just continuously post. So the goal of climbing up is to, one, protect my head, because he can't hit me from here, but two, I can lock onto this arm, and now, again, I plant my feet, I bump my hips, it's nothing to post, and I can come up into this position. Make sense? Now I've got control of this arm. From here, we'll work strikes, we'll work our way out, we break the grip, and we get the hell out of there, okay? One more thing to take note. God damn, you are sweaty, man. We bump, I get here, or I start climbing up in here, I get to the point where I can trap the arm, I post, I start going, he starts shifting that knee out, okay? I can't go because now he's got his weight shifted on that side. You see how he's now posting with the knee? If they're doing this, the quick option, instead of like trying to muscle them, is just trap the foot. From here to here. Now when I go to bump, he has nowhere to post that foot. If he tries to post that foot out, it's trapped behind my foot. So you can either wait to do this, or the second we get here, we do this. Right when I'm going ready to bump, you can just make it a habit and just catch it right away. And then I bump my hips, roll through, and again, I come right back up in here. Work ourselves out, and we get out from there. So this is a different situation, but right now I'm just kind of focused on us getting to the top. If we get into this position, The general kind of consensus from here right away, start working your strikes, work your hammer fist, drop your elbows a little bit. Notice I'm not bringing my arms up, it's just a quick drop. We work ourselves back, strike the groin. Once this grip breaks, I'm out. Make sense? Questions on that? Let's rip it out.